Fine. The next chapter that we take is the Rattrap by Selma Lagerlöf, and again a very important lesson from examination point of view. Before we begin with the story, let's consider the theme of the story, how best you can encapsulate or compress the story. The NCERT publication says the story is about the human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. The human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. This is what the story is about by Selma Lagerlöf. Very, very important from examination point of view. And before we begin anything, it is very important for all of us to understand the meaning of the gist, the human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. And the main word, the root word is redeem. And redeem, to put it simply, means to get back something valuable that one has lost. To get back something valuable that one has lost. To get back anything valuable that one may have lost. Now, in the context of the story, the main character, and he happens to be a rat trap seller, or a rat trap peddler, who loses his self-respect, his dignity as a human being, and how he gets it back is what the story is about. And Selma Lagerlöf uses the metaphor of a rat trap to explain this. And right at the beginning, we are introduced into how this world happens to be a very big rat trap. Selma Lagerlöf maintains that this world, with its riches, with food, clothes, heat, it says. Alright, anything that entices anyone who doesn't have all these things is a very big rat trap. World has all these things, and what a trap would be for one depends on where one sits on the social hierarchy. For a beggar, food, wealth, money, heat, house or home would be a trap. And he would want to have that anyhow, because he doesn't have that. So we all are running after these baits. Everyone, these are all baits. They're all running after these baits, and some get trapped by these baits. That is, they get a liking of the taste of that particular bait, and they want more and more of it, and thereafter life is reduced to nothing but a long effortful journey of getting that thing only, and one forgets to enjoy the simple joys of life. Just as a rat is enticed or tempted by anything edible inside a trap, he moves towards it just as the rat is about to nibble, he's trapped, and the world comes to an end. So this metaphor has to be understood very clearly. This world is a very big rat trap, and just as a rat trap offers bait, anything edible for a rat, similarly there are so many baits or traps in this world, and what a trap would be for me or for anyone else would depend on where I or where others sit on the social hierarchy. So when I develop a liking for its taste, I run after it, and I continue doing that throughout my life, and my life is reduced to running after that particular bait, and for me life has come to an end. That means I have stopped enjoying simple joys that life has to offer. This is what the explanation of metaphor that Selma Lagerlöf offers. So when the story begins in a fairy tale manner, as is perhaps a custom of Selma Lagerlöf, and she talks of a miserable, pitiful rat trap peddler. Rat trap peddler. And the way she describes, the way the author describes the rat trap peddler, the rat trap peddler evokes pity. It arouses pity in the readers. The ragged clothes that he is in, the shining hunger in his eyes, the lonely life that he leads, is how the rat trap is described. And naturally the readers are drawn into empathizing with the rat trap peddler, who begs, who steals, who also uses selling rat trap as a side business to make ends meet. But because his business is not profitable, so one can see hunger gleaming in his eyes. Now, once in his lonely wanderings, he sights a cottage by the side of the road, and the master of the cottage, the owner of the cottage, is unusually, very strangely welcoming, and naturally he welcomes the rat trap peddler also. It is this encounter with the person inside the roadside cottage that becomes a turning point in the otherwise peaceful life of the rat trap peddler. The owner of the cottage welcomes him and invites him.